Arnie, can you just give us like a squad update? Is everyone available for selection? I know Jackson's had a bit of a knock at training. Will he be right? And then, Harry, to you, what does this game mean for you as an adopted Australian, so to speak? To play against England at Wembley must be massive for you.
Well, I think Harry's answer will be long in the mind, so mine will be short. So everyone is fit and everyone's ready.
Yeah, just really looking forward to it. I know what I said before when the fixture got released, it was one that all the boys couldn't wait for. And obviously coming into camp early this week and just seeing the energy levels from everyone. And yeah, we're ready for the game, and hopefully it's a good result for us.
Some of the boys have good stories about the morning of 2003 when they all watched Australia beat England at Upton Park and then went to school that day, sort of walking on air. Did you watch that game from Scotland? Any memory of it? Were you aware of the Socceroos back then?
No, I would have been 5, so I don't really remember much from back then. Obviously, it's been mentioned by a few of the older lads in the squad, should we say, and the coaching staff as well. So yeah, we're very aware of it, and yeah, it's one we'll look to draw from inspiration.
Dan King from The Sun. Arnie, could I ask you about Ange Postecoglou's comments, where he said that even with the success of the Women's World Cup, that he can't see Australian football ever being able to take the big step it needs to take. What your response to that was?
Yeah, look, I think Ange has a point, and but I think we've just got to look at probably the past successes we've had at the Men's World Cup and the Women's World Cup, and really move forward from there. I think if we dwell too long or too much in the past and of how it's been for so many years, that there has to be one point where we say, well, now we move forward. And I think that, there's a lot of work to do, but I do think with the generation of kids that are coming through, we've got some good youngsters coming through that we can reinvigorate the sport.
And as a follow-up to that, clearly what the Matildas did at the Women's World Cup inspired, lots of boy players as well as girl players. But would a men's World Cup being hosted in Australia make an appreciable difference? But on the other hand, does 2034 already look like it's sewn up by the Saudis and not worth bidding for?
I'm not in the detail of 2034 if that's happening, but I will say that it would help the sport enormously to have a World Cup in Australia, and I think we showed that we're great hosts. But the best part of that would be we wouldn't have to qualify. We'd be directly in. So that would make my job a lot easier if I'm still around.
Michael Butler from The Guardian. You had Ange and Gus Hiddink to meet the squad. Can you just talk about how that came about and what sort of relationship you have with both of those people? Yeah,
look, I've got a special relationship with both. I've known Ange for 40-odd years and played against him, coached against him and worked with him, and that's so we've had a great connection for years. And with Gus, he's pretty much a mentor to me and like a brother, father. Or I've got to be careful what I say because he's not that old, but he's always been a great man to me and a great mentor to me. And I worked under Gus the 2006 World Cup as his assistant, and it's just the culture that we bring. I think when you see the Socceroos and the Matildas really bring the nation together, and that's the culture of the national teams. And this isn't my team; this is the nation's team, and the respect that we have for ex-players. We had Mile Jedinak and that at training yesterday. Also, as you said, with Ange and Gus coming in, that they're legends of the sport, and they belong so firmly in the Socceroos. And at the end of the day, as I said, it's not my team, and it's it's the boys get inspired by those type of people, and the older generation look back at what Gus did for us, qualifying us for the first time in 32 years, and really changed things for the national teams. We've qualified ever since. And with Ange, with everything that he's done for Australian football and what he's doing for Tottenham now is amazing, and the whole country's proud of him. And it was a really a great moment to have him with us.
As a follow-up to that, during Andrew's team talk, he said that nothing is given to any Australian footballer, and you have to earn it. And that if you say from Australia, that puts you down a peg or two. What did you make of those comments, and how much of it do you think is sort of mind games?
I wasn't listening. He was talking to the players, not the coaches. No, he was just joking. But yeah, but that's probably the way that the sport's been for years. Is we get underestimated. We, as I said, I've said the story here in Britain in 2003. I was assistant coach to Frank Farina, exactly the same thing with Sven Goran Eriksson. It was like, oh, we're only just playing against Australia. We'll play 2 different teams, and if anything, that motivated the players even more, our players, because it was like, oh, they don't respect us to be on the field with us, good, to play a proper game. And that's the Australian mentality. When we've got our backs to the walls and no one gives us a chance, that's when that's when we're at our best. And so, that will only continue, I can imagine. But with a lot of good things happening for the sport at the moment, it's an exciting future.
You were a big part of that 2003 triumph. Some great stories from you this week. I was reading in the press about that sort of feeling of disrespect. Do you feel it's very different this time for this match? Do you feel that, with all the stuff that Gareth Southgate suggesting, that you are now treated as serious contenders?
Yeah, well, 2003 we played at Upton Park. I think that also was a bit of lack of respect. In 2001 we play at Wembley. And now 2023, it's now, what we've done at the World Cup. We're ranked number 27 in the world, and obviously England are 5, that the respect is there. And, it's a great honour, and we're grateful to the English FA, really grateful that they thought of us and we come to an agreement to play here. They're a marvellous team, and we're looking forward to playing them tomorrow night. But the most important thing is ourselves and making sure we get our performance right. And it's a great opportunity for these boys to be on a big stage and show all the UK and Europe how good they are, and they can enhance their own careers. So it's going to be an exciting night.
As one of life's optimists, do you see a day when football is at the heart and centre of sport in Australia?
I'd love to see it, but I don't know if I will. When I say that, there was a great legend of Australian football many, many years ago called Johnny Warren, who said, I told you so. And, nothing's really happened since then either. But, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We have, a sport in Australia, AFL, which is, as Ange said, the Indigenous sport, which is the biggest sport in the country. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of funds and a lot of money put into AFL, but it's only played in one country. And we're playing in a world sport, and we don't get anywhere near the resources or the help that that sport does. And, we see the Prime Minister and the governments, they love coming out to watch, the Matildas and the Socceroos with scarves on, but they must lose them when they go home.
So do you want to see more funding for the sport?
We don't have a home of football. Whether you can believe that or not, we don't have a home of football. When the Socceroos come to Sydney to train, we have to train on a rugby league field where they remove the posts and put a soccer post up. That's the truth. And as I said, we are the highest participated sport at grassroots. And as I said, we don't have a home of football at all. Where, the last 3 days, where's England been? George's Park. And, they're coming down, so it's a place where it inspires the players, a place where it's a home, a place where you build a culture. And we don't have anything like that. And that, for me, since the World Cup, that was the thing that I said after the World Cup. Hopefully this will make something change, and we'll get government funding and help to inspire the kids' lives and fulfil the kids' dreams, because we've had so many great footballers that have left the country because they've had to earn a living and to fulfil their dreams. And Harry Kuehl, Mark Viduka, Timmy Cahill, Schwarzer, all these guys. And this generation is going to be the next. Yeah, he wants to answer a question. I'm running out of energy.
Well, don't get too comfortable, Arnie, because I will have one more for you. But Harry, just to give Arnie a break, how much have you been looking forward to this camp, just on the back of what's been a difficult run for you at Leicester? I know you got a run in the Championship, I think for the first time this season the other day, to come back into Socceroos camp, where you know you're valued and you know you'll get a run, must be something that you've been looking forward to, especially for a game of this magnitude.
Yeah, it's been an up and down season for me personally. Obviously had a few discussions with the manager, really open and honest in pre-season, and yeah, I've obviously not been playing as much as I'd like, and it's probably a different role for me this season in terms of not going to start every week, but he made it clear to the group that everyone is needed if we're going to have a successful season and be up there and get promoted. Then every member of the squad is needed. So yeah, it's just about being ready when called upon, and I felt like I'd done that obviously with the defeat in the cup, but with my first start in the league there on Saturday, I felt like I acquitted myself well, and yeah, that's all I can do is be ready when called upon.
Arnie, part of what Ange said to the group yesterday, and I'm sure you've said the same thing and will do, is about seizing the moment at Wembley and not just enjoying being there, but making it a memorable night by winning.
Yep.
How motivated are you and the squad by the sort of possibilities and the lift that it would give the game back home to have another special moment for the Socceroos to hang their hat on?
Yeah, look, Vince. It's never been any different with me, and for me, it's from day one I've been in this job. It was always being about the greatest Socceroo team in history, and we've achieved that. But I want more. Otherwise, I wouldn't have stayed on. I would have left. And those type of speeches that Ange made yesterday, it was very similar to what we've been saying for years about doing it for the kids in Australia and the nation and your family and people that are close by, and for the sport, as you said. So we go out there tomorrow night and we approach it any other way. Of course, full house, which is amazing. But we've had we've had a lot of games in big stadiums with big crowds. Like we just played Argentina in China with 70,000, and Mexico in Dallas with 65, 70,000, and plus Qatar. And so these boys, and it's a new generation we're bringing through. That we're a very young squad. We've got 12 players with less than 10 caps in this squad. We've got between 11 and 20 caps. We've got 6, and only 5 or 6 older players that are over 20 caps. So it's a bit of a rebuild and regeneration of the squad. And I know one thing is they will run till they drop. The energy will be there, and they'll put in the performance of their lives.
Can I ask what for you would constitute success tomorrow?
Win.
Yeah. And
that's not being arrogant. That's just the mentality we have. Every time we go in the park, we're not going out there to try not to lose, or try to draw. We're going out to win the game. It's the approach we always have. And
which part, like tactically, do you think would allow you to do that? Is there a part of the England squad or a part of their setup that you're targeting?
No, look, I can't tell you that. But,
I thought I'd try.
No, but look, England are a fantastic team, as I said, and Gareth Southgate is a great coach, wonderful man, and I look forward to seeing him tomorrow night. And again, we're very appreciative of the invitation to play here, and we're looking forward to the match.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good.
Just Harry, I just wonder whether you see this match tomorrow as a way of reminding people, yes. I'm here still. Since it's easy when you drop down a division, have a poor start to the season or a mediocre start to the season, that you drop off the radar a bit. Do you see this as a high-profile opportunity?
You could say that, but there's kind of only 2 people that I need to, let know that I'm here. Is obviously this man sitting to the left of me and my club manager. you know, they're the ones that are going to pick me and select me. So yeah, I've just got to kind of do my job as, you know, prepare the same, you know, if I'm, you know, playing or not playing as I do every week, really. And yeah, we'll go from there.
And Graham, a word on H. I mean, is he an inspiration to the rest of the squad?
100%. And, you know, when he decided to come and play for Australia with the Olympic team, it was a great moment for myself and Australian football, but he's the Minister of Defence in Australia.
Take it.
Better be anyway. Okay.